All right. Some breaking news out of the Board of Governors meetings in Palm Beach County, Florida, right now. As we talked about a lot yesterday on the show and this week, Seattle City Council earlier this week gave the go-ahead by a 7-1 vote for a $660 million renovation of Key Arena in Seattle. Gary Bettman and the Board of Governors just broke from a meeting. Gary Bettman has stepped in front of the cameras, and he announced that Seattle have asked to file application to expand into the National Hockey League. Bonderman and Bruckheimer would be the owners behind it. The league has agreed to do that, and they will now allow a season ticket drive. Gary Bettman saying that earlier today. Here is the video evidence of a rather significant moment out of the Board of Governors meetings moments ago.
Mr. Bonderman, with his partner Jerry Bruckheimer, has asked if they might file an application for an expansion team, and the board has said that they may do that. That doesn't mean we've granted an expansion team. We've agreed as a league to take and consider an expansion application and to let them run at some point in the next few months a season ticket drive. This is a process that we go through. You'll all handicap the likelihood of it being successful or not. I can't stop that speculation, but the fact of the matter is the board has authorized us to permit them to file an expansion application and do a season ticket drive. It is envisioned that the terms of an expansion agreement, if it would go forward, would be basically the same as Las Vegas, except as to price.
So price. He went on to say $650 million for this expansion team. So $500 million for Vegas?
Yes.
So in the span of 2 years?
Yes.
We've gone from $500 million, and $500 million is roughly the cost of what Carolina sold their team for today. The story that now is not as important. A $650 million expansion fee is being put on this. Again, the season ticket drive in Seattle will be allowed to go on. Just some other nuggets here, Steve, before I get your take. He also went on to say, Gary Bettman, relocation is a possibility. Again, very similar process to the expansion in Vegas. So he left that hanging out in the air. And in terms of Quebec City, he was asked about that. He says this expansion process is just for Seattle. He doesn't know about Quebec City going forward. He answered the question. But again, that's where we stand right now. An application to expand has been filed by the group in Seattle. They'll be allowed to have a season ticket drive. That news just breaking moments ago. Steve, your initial reaction to all that?
Wow. You know what Gary Bettman's thinking right now? He's thinking, I should have signed a deal like that Roger Goodell deal, that pay-for-play deal with all the bonuses, right?
Correct.
This guy's driven what?
He's hitting all the bonuses.
Little over $1 billion in expansion revenue in what, 3 or 4 years? However this plays out, like that's pretty good work. What do I think? If I were a betting man, I would bet every cent I had, Bitcoins, everything. I would bet them on Seattle getting the team and paying $650 million for it. Look, he threw out the relocation thing. That's a strategic thing. We talked to John Shannon about that the other day. The idea that he would also like, as an added bonus, they would like to use this situation as leverage in Calgary. Yeah. Now there may be some other arena situations as well, but Calgary's front of mind, and the Calgary guys have obviously kind of mumbled about relocation. So just keep that door open a crack just so that Ken King and Murray Edwards and the fine folks in Calgary can use that. But there's zero chance. Well, number one, there's zero chance Calgary is going to leave, but there's also zero chance that the NHL would, having a market that they've wanted to get into with a brand new arena with two really, really rich owners who are apparently willing to throw down $650 million American dollars.
And have been friends to the league for a long time.
Yes.
Supported this game.
And you remember, the owners get to divide this money. They don't have to share this money with anybody. Yeah. It doesn't affect the players. Don't get a nickel of this. So this is their favorite kind of money. They don't have to divide
of all their favorite kinds of money.
They like most kinds of money, but they really like this kind of money. They like the 100 cent on the dollar money. So there is zero chance that they would take a relocation fee and allow somebody in there to, which would cut down their take. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a done deal. There's, barring some unimaginable failure of a season ticket drive in Seattle, and I'm not sure
it won't fail at all. It'll be a huge success.
Well, sure it will,
yeah.
and I'm not sure. Most season ticket drives. When was the last one that failed anywhere? Yeah. Right? They don't ever fail. So it's done. Yeah, they're going to cash a check. These guys are going to get a team. and it's, remember, there's some, we had Jeff Baker talking about, there's still, there are a couple little things, little tweaks with the arena deal that still have to be settled, but this is a very aggressive, this isn't them kind of playing hard to get and saying, well, we're not sure we want to expand, let's see what, this is them saying, write us a check right now, let's go.
Again, Gary Bettman is still talking, so we're just seeing the quotes filter in through social media. But again, going back to the Quebec City portion of this, Steve, just to get this clear, Bettman said he doesn't know where this leaves Quebec City other than to say right now, this is from Pierre LeBrun, they're only looking at Seattle for possible expansion, points to geography and chance to balance the conferences, which obviously makes sense, one short out west. So that's the latest on that. Let me ask you something. If the Flames say we want to sell to this group for close to $600 million or $650 million or whatever they would sell it for, is that also on the table?
No. No, because again, because that wouldn't do the other owners any good, right?
That wouldn't. No. But it would fix your imbalance for a while. It would get another. It would move a team. It wouldn't fix. It
wouldn't fix the imbalance. And the problem with it is, you would be taking a team out of a good hockey market and putting it into, a fresh market. It doesn't solve a problem. You relocate a team in the, and look, remember, how many teams have actually relocated in the Gary Bettman era? They don't actually like to do that. They did it with Atlanta to Winnipeg because there was no choice, right? Yeah. Keys were on the table. There was no ownership there. They weren't going to spend another dime, and they had an arena ready to go in Winnipeg, and they had owners ready to go. That's the, in case of emergency, break glass. That's what Quebec City is now. So they will allow the Calgary guys to talk as though that's a possibility because, again, they want to turn up the heat in Calgary, turn the screws politically. But there's no way that scenario makes sense for all of the owners in the league and for Bettman. Yeah. $650 million free and clear to go to a place where you want to go. They've been just waiting for this kind of complicated arena situation in Seattle to resolve itself. But their desire to go there predates them going to Vegas. Yeah. So they get what they want. They balance the conference. They've still got Houston sitting over here as their other kind of emergency place. And then Quebec City, look, I don't think anybody believes that you can pay $650 million American dollars for a team in Quebec City and make it work. I don't know that anybody, and you're not going to get a discount. Yeah. There will be no more discounts. $500 million was the price. I guess inflation is rampant. $650 million is now the price. You're not going to get a team for $649 million.
If they wait on Houston, that's an $800-900 million price tag. By the time they get there.
There is a point where this isn't going to make any sense. But
I thought we were at that point with Vegas.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Boy, what a great time to launch an all-sports radio station in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. That Seattle Canucks derby is going to be unbelievable. Seattle Seals. What's the name at Tim and Sid? I know we've done this already this week, but we're doing it again.